I, it was Mayday. I'm almost, I bet that if we went back on our text, the word Mayday would have been
Yes, it was. I do remember. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? Because we've known each other for a long time,
there.
which is helpful in this whole journey of trust and all of that. So we'll touch base on that. But yeah, I remember I was like, oh no, what? And then you're like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, why are you sad about it?
I can't take my meds anymore. And now I know what it's like on the other side of the world. I can't, I have to learn how to, I have to learn how to mimic that productivity and that organization and that drive and that all those good, I was like, I have to figure this out because I knew different at that point and knew that there was a different way to be and feel and live.
Yes. And so, yeah, you knew it would not be the same as medicine. I mean, and some
Right.
people out there, I mean, that medicine doesn't work. And so the idea that the brain training can go hand in hand with medication or it can be standalone is probably a huge relief to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I do both.
yeah.
I mean, even when I am like cleared to be on medication, I sometimes I won't take it, and I just rely on all the training and all the information that I've been given, and just to set myself up for success. Because I don't want to be on medicine all the time. Or what
Yeah.
if I forget? What if I go on a trip and I forget to take my medicine? Or what if I just don't take it for one day and I'm actually home and around my medicine and I still forget to take it? I mean, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And can you talk to me about what that whole thing was like before and after coaching? If you were to before coaching, if you were to forget your medication versus after coaching, what is that? What is the feeling and the thought process, and even just the state of being before versus after?
I think now that I've gone through coaching, I can get very real with myself and almost like take a step back, take a deep breath, and start to become aware of what is real, what is actually possible, what is actually feasible, what is, I may have to like plan my day a little bit differently or change my expectations, whether that's up or down. Um, like it's not like if I miss my medicine or I have a season or a week or something or a time that I don't want to be on medicine. It's not like I tell myself, well, this week's just not gonna be a good week because I'm not on my medicine. I just like it's not better or worse, it's just different. And I just have to like get a little reality check about what I can actually accomplish. And then I have to strategically change things about my day, about what I eat, maybe what I drink, maybe how much I exercise. I mean, all the things. Like this morning, I was outside running and I took my sunglasses off because I was like, this, I probably need the sunlight. I've had a little bit of trouble sleeping since I started taking more medication, getting
Yeah.
some back on my medication. And so that's one of the things. Like I had a moment this morning that I was aware that there was something that I could do in that moment while I was around nothing else, no other tools except for to take my sunglasses off and let the sunlight hit my eyes. Like that's something that I learned in coaching.
Yeah.
And it was a small step, but I bet that I sleep better tonight, you know,
Yeah.
'cause-
And you also helped melatonin, like the sensors in your eyes, and
Mhm,
like, yeah.
all kinds of things, all kinds of things. And it was just a moment. It was just a brief moment and a tiny change, but I felt like it helped set me up for success for this afternoon.
Yeah. I like the way you talk about when you either forget or decide not to take your medicine, it's you just rearrange
Mhm.
your day, and it's like it's almost sounds like a switch in your mind where you're like, okay, I have to be more aware today, which is
Yes.
great exercise in itself, right? So that's
Mhm.
just a whole different perspective of I'm going to exercise my executive function
Mhm.
really well today because I forgot to take my medicine,
Yeah,
versus beating yourself up and being like, this day is going to be crap.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I don't have to tell myself that it's going to be worse if I'm not medicated. It's just I just have to change my approach and
Yeah,
just kind of rearrange the day. And
which helps your brain not freak out, which is
mhm.
then what causes your ADHD to be more raging. It's like this circular thing, and it helps you keep calm and carry on.
Yes.
Um, did you have when before you started coaching? Were there any hesitations? I know, again, we did know each other before, but were there hesitations about it?
Um, I'm a big person. Like if like my accountant, like I am not a good accountant. I'm like, here's all of my bookwork. You can have it. I'm not a good accountant. This is not my department. So I trust that the accountant will work accordingly with my things and they will do an incredible job. Well, I was like, this is Leah's job. I'm going to like this is her thing and I'm gonna like I trusted you completely even though we were friends and all that, but I'm like, this is obviously what she does. And I'm gonna trust that like this is none of my business. like this is what she does.
Don't
And
overthink it, in other
that's
words.
right. That's right. I'm just gonna show up with what I have. And I really didn't I mean, I had a little bit of an idea of what I was getting myself into, but I was like, I'm just gonna show up with what I have. I'm not going to try to like prepare because I feel like if I waited to be prepared, it would have never happened. I mean, just like going to the gym, like if you wait till you're in shape to go to the gym, you'll never go. Be-
That
so,
speaks to the self-trust that I think a lot of people
mhm,
let them get hung up on, which I've done before. And I did even with coaching. I was like, I'm going to coach myself until I'm coachable.
don't wait.
What?
Don't
A
wait on
coach
that.
takes like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, don't wait on that. Just just show up how you are with what you have and like the coach, that's the coach's job. That's your that I was like, it's her job to do the rest, like to tell me where to go from here and help me work through this. It's not my job. You know, so you now it's my job.
Hmm. But you also just have a standing relationship, and even my clients who come in who aren't friends beforehand. In general, I don't actually usually coach friends, but you had moved away, so I feel like there was a good amount
Yes.
of separation there. But even for them, like they can always reach out to me,
Hmm.
so that's another helpful thing. Did you have any hesitation as far as cost? I seem to remember your partner had,
Yes.
who has been through coaching, which I found hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Expensive coaching. Been expensively coached.
How did you have that conversation with him?
Well, I mean, I think that when you think about the ADHD taxes, I just feel like there's a tax that comes along with um unattended to like just like free ADHD. There's late fees, there's overlooked expenses, there's like you don't pay attention to something that you're paying more for than you used to pay less for. You forget to pay parking tickets and then there's a fine. Like that stuff is tangible, trackable things that make it worth it to me. Like how much money am I saving by doing things differently now, the way I've been coached to do. But then also there's you can't put a price tag on the lack of anxiety and the lack of um, fear, like the it's gonna eat me fear, because I feel like I lived with that. Like my taxes are gonna eat me. Like they're gonna come in my room at night and eat me, or whatever it is. The parking ticket's gonna eat me, or that email that I'm supposed to send, or that person I'm supposed to text back. If I don't do it, it's gonna eat me. And so the running from the eat me monster, the running from that monster that you feel like is going to attack you if you don't get something accomplished, like that monster's gone. Or it just rears its ugly head if I need to get some things in check. But like, that's priceless. I couldn't put a price tag on that.
I
Like
love
that's
that.
that's a next level piece.
I love that analogy. I use the hot stove analogy, but your monster thing also allows you to be like, why are you being ridiculous? Eat me,
Mhm.
monster. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You,
whatever.
you suck,
Back off.
monster. Go away. Yeah. Yeah. Go away, monster.
I love that. So, well, the next question was going to be, what advice would you give someone with the same type of concerns of self trust or the price or anything like that? You made it. You made it through in record time. You were the quick, but we had very specific goals. You're like, I
Mhm.
need to live off medication. These are the concerns that I have, on and off. Like, we were very very focused on.
What if Ask me the question again? What advice would I give?
What advice would you give someone with concerns, not just coaching with me, but just in general, if they had price concerns or self trust concerns? I mean,
Um,
like the whole being ready or the whole I don't know if I can do this. I had someone the other day say, "Well, I've just bought all these courses and I haven't even opened them. I have a lifetime like portal access and I
mhm,
couldn't tell you what's in it."
mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like after the first session, just getting it like out and just admitting that I needed to do this and I had concerns, it just relieved me so much. And it put a lot of the monsters away. If we want to keep talking using
Yeah.
monsters, like the monsters were just gone almost immediately out after like I just like I felt like I vomited on you. And I thought I was this really hard case. I thought, like I'm going to be really complicated for her. And there were so many things that you were just like, oh, well, I can this, yeah. Like it wasn't easy, but it was simple. There were simple things that you could tell me, and it was just like a relief. Like it wasn't that hard. It wasn't hard at all. So I don't even say it that hard, but just like taking that first initial step was a little bit hard. But once I got on the phone or on in our meeting, um, all of that just started to like lighten, just lift. And it was like, why didn't I do this sooner? I mean, I know why I didn't do it
Yeah.
sooner, but now my advice to others is like, don't wait, because I mean, all it's like all the things just like keep pressing on
Mhm.
you, and the longer you wait, like the heavier that's going to be. And like, because it's really really simple, like once you get on the phone, you make it simple, you simplify it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people might be worried about homework, which we don't. I have stuff that you can do, but it's never
No,
like you have to do this and you have to show and you have to do
yeah.
what you said you're gonna do. I mean, it's great
Mhm.
if you do, but it's your time and your money. And I think that eat me monster, I think that
Mhm.
like that kind of plays in like, oh, am I just gonna add another thing? Sometimes, but in coaching, and this is me talking a little bit about the process, which I think is helpful, it's we have to take some things away. And I think maybe that's kind of what you noticed, A, feeling seen, and B, realizing like we're not adding to during coaching, we're going to look at what we can take out,
That's right.
which is where it has to start. Like we have to take some things out. We have to simplify some things that are already
Hmm.
like not working.
Yeah, it's like 7 steps forward, not one step forward, 2 steps back. It's
Yeah.
like It's like you could eliminate like 7 things in one session instead of just adding one other thing to your to-do list.
Yeah.
Like you
Which
get
is
it.
what it can feel like before you start.
That's right.
Yeah. Or trying to figure, well, what made you work with me instead of trying to figure it out on your own?
Um, a little bit of kind of going back to this is not my not my
Yeah.
forte. Like this is not what I do.
Mm.
There are obviously like there are reasons why you trust me with what I do.
I know, I miss you so much.
And so you just sit down and it's like a relief of responsibility. Like like to figure out how to fix things. That's like you help me do that. It's not up to me. And um also if I could have figured it out on my own, it either wouldn't have gotten figured out or it would have taken me a lot longer because I would have had to take a lot of like deep dives into encyclopedias and documentaries and books, and all that. And you just kind of you didn't zip through all that. You spent a lot of time working on that, but like you gave me the cliff notes really fast
Mm-hmm.
of what it was going to take instead of me spending potentially pointless hours going down rabbit holes that weren't helpful. You had already sorted through
Or
all that.
TikTok videos that,
Right. That's right.
which I don't want to, I don't want to dig on Instagram or TikTok because I think there are a lot of people like understanding themselves a lot better because of those videos. But, tools can only help so much if you don't have the FaceTime and the person across from you
That's
to
right.
talk to about it and be aware and track your energy and all that stuff.
And like a book or a TikTok or a documentary or another place that I could go get information doesn't have discernment like a person does. And you have discernment while you're talking to me. You're picking up on, is she lying to herself? Is she lying to me? Is she being unrealistic? Is she being hard on herself? Like a book or like a tangible resource, like a book or a documentary or something, they can't give that feedback and they can't sense the things that I'm feeling by listening to me the way you can.
Yeah, they can't see like when you get tense when you say
That's right.
something or
That's
use
right.
the word should, and that's like a sign like we need to dig deeper, even though you may not want to dig deeper.
Mhm.
Let me
Yeah.
hold your hand. Let's dig a
Right.
little.
Right.
Or that was dirt. Did you hear that? Because
Mm-hmm.
the dirt is sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
What have you created and what results have you achieved? I feel like you've kind of gone over that, but and I've posted about it, but
Yeah, I put a lot of boundaries in place, and that took some awareness to figure out what some of my triggers were. Because, like, when you have ADHD, there are already enough things that make you panic. So, you don't, like, I've started to figure out who around me, like, may make me feel panic or out of control, even if it's not panic, just out of
mm-hmm.
control a little bit. And I went through my home to figure out how to set myself up for success in my home with like my laundry system or my meal planning system or whatever. And then I can get kind of relaxed in my home because kind of all that stuff is already set into play. But then whenever I knew that someone like my dad, who's a wonderful person, but he needs a lot of coaching.
And you didn't know that until you went through coaching. And then you're like,
I'm like, this is my dad. But then I just kind of like polished up and shaped up all of my little systems and things before he would come so that when he came to visit me I wasn't just completely thrown off kilter and everything. I felt like I had a little bit more control over everything. I had a lot more control over everything once he got there, but um I felt like I used to just be like, well, he's coming and it's just going to be a hard weekend. And I just accepted it, but now I just take that little moment before anything like that happens. And I'm like, okay, my environment is about to change. I'm going to get out of my little house bubble, out of, because my bedroom is right how I want it. My bathroom is right how I want it. I have my little toiletries set up in my, like I have myself set up for like clutter free areas that don't stress me out and stuff like that. But now, whenever I know my environment is about to change, I need to polish up and just extend my awareness of the environment or the community that I'm about to go into, and be like, okay, this is about to happen, and this could potentially throw me off, or how do I set myself up for this? And it's working.
And I think I remember you saying, I have so much more compassion for him because I know to do these things, which then frees me up to just be with him and not be upset with him or triggered by him or annoyed with him or all the things. You get to just be like, this is what it is. I've prepared so that I can love him and, anyone else who's coming into my space to spend time with me.
Because I do love him. Like, it's not that,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
But it was getting in the way.
Yes. Yes, it was getting in the way of our relationship. Yes, absolutely. And now that's an element that's gone. Like, now I have, like you said, compassion. And now it's like almost like something I giggle at. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
bless his heart. He's just geeking out there over that, or bless his heart. He didn't think twice about leaving this, in the floor, or not cleaning up after himself, or so, like, I'm just like, no, it's just but, and it made me think more about his strengths, because I've figured out my own strengths through this.
And I would say learn how to give yourself grace. And
Yes.
until you can do that, it's really difficult to give anyone else grace.
Yes. Yes. Like, I still want to see him, and him.
Yeah.
I still loves him, and so yeah. Or anybody else that I see struggles with it, I give them grace and compassion. But I had to learn how to do that with myself first. It's like I can see my brain, and when I'm in my brain is one thing, and when I have the awareness to get out of my brain and look at it and see what it's doing.
And that's
That
coaching.
came from coaching. That came from coaching, rather than just being like all cut up and trying to make sense of everything and getting overwhelmed and like beating myself up if I'm just like, I'm out, get out of that. Look at your brain. Look at what's happening, Megan. This is what your brain's doing. This is not it, the lies or all the bad things that you think it is. And then while I can also see what my brain's doing right. And that's what I decided to run with that day. Like, instead of making the kid good at tennis, stay in math tutoring more, give them more tennis lessons, let them be an Olympic tennis player.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't tackle this project today, because it my brain is overwhelmed, or I'm sleepy, or I've got too many things on my to-do list. Let's run with get out of the brain, and let's run with what my brain's doing correctly today, or get those things out of the way so that I can find something that my brain's doing correctly. And yeah, so rather than two brains fighting each other, my visualization, the way my mind works, it's like I get to look at my brain.
Yeah.
Take it out and look at it.
Yes. And I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you brought that up, because metacognition, that's metacognition. What am I thinking? What are my thoughts saying to me? Instead of being judgmental to myself about it, these are just thoughts, and they sit right here. And I am a human, and I sit right here. It doesn't mean anything about me. It's part of developing executive function. That's why these coaching tools continue to be in use, because you learned how to think about your thoughts. That's the clincher.
And the more you practice it, like the more, like the very first time you can look at that brain. Like it gets easier and easier and easier to pause, to practice the pause.
Yep.
and,
And the
and
pause is all the power. That's where all the power is when you want to strangle your kids or your
yeah.
partner or
Mhm.
get completely dysregulated.
Mhm. Or say yes.
Or say yes.
Pause
Mhm.
and be real. Do I need to say yes to this thing right now? Or do I need to say no or table it?
Yeah.
Check with me again another day. Or, check with me. I'll be happy to do that another week or another season of my life, but not right now.
What surprised you most about our work together?
My hindsight, it was like, that's what this was. That's what this was. It's like just like looking back and tracking patterns. I was really surprised. I was like, that's what that was. That wasn't me being a loser. That's what that was. Or that wasn't me being. So I was surprised at how many things I could pinpoint um, were like a pattern. Um, and then I was surprised that it didn't eat me. Like I was surprised that I was like, okay, that was not hard. Um, that was actually easy and made other things easier. Like I said, instead of taking like an element of energy out of my life, it gave me like seven more elements of energy, like more, it gave me more instead of it taking from me. Because most any other type of to-do list assignment things are takers, and this ended up being a giver.
That
Um,
means so much to me. Thank
yeah,
you.
it was the opposite, and it was fun because I'm going to geek out on something at all times in my life. And so it was fun to start geeking out on all the tools and all the way things can get done and all the like then I was just able to like start seeing things and geeking out on the books that you told me to read, which I still remember, and I didn't read them. I listened to them on audiobook times two because like every other audiobook I feel like is, too slow. And I still remember all of that stuff, and it was so applicable, and that was fun for me. Like what's the happy
Mhm.
chemical, serotonin?
Serotonin. Yeah.
Yeah, I got serotonin from it because I was like, oh, this is something I can geek out on and I can be good at. And I was like,
You were. You zipped through it.
Mhm, mhm, and
Because
it's
when you first came in, you're like, I think I can, I think I can only do the 4 ones. I was like, let's do it. I'm up for a challenge.
yeah, it was serotonin. It was definitely I got highs every time I figured out a hack or any
Yeah.
gave me a tool that our hack, hack tool, whatever. Anytime that it worked, I would be like, and then I could do another one. And I was like, "Girl." So
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. It's fun.
it was so much fun. And yeah, I'll do anything ever. I'll talk to anybody that you need me to talk to.
Don't volunteer yourself to be a sales rep because you might become. Just kidding.
Hey, I'm like, it worked. It worked. It's
I
working.
appreciate you so much.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
We'll have to do it.
Yeah.
The country saying is come back when you can stay longer.
Yes.